Hello. Now, there's another story which has popped up today, or actually it popped up yesterday, and it's about Mother Teresa. Now, Mother Teresa, you recall, died on the same day as Princess Diana. So her death was slightly overlooked at the time, but she's now a saint in the Catholic Church. She's somebody who I remember visited my school, and, uh, and of course, if you go to Albania and you go to Tirana Airport, a statue of Mother Teresa meets you as you emerge from the airport itself. Now, today we learn that the FCRA, that's the Foreign Contribution Rejuvenation Act in India, has said that the Missionaries of Charity, that's her organisation of nuns, is I think about 3,000 nuns worldwide committed to following the traditions of Mother Teresa. They are not meeting the eligibility conditions laid down by the Indian government. And it also says that adverse inputs were noticed. I don't quite know what that means. But the finger of blame seems to be pointing towards a group of right-wing Hindu nationalists who have also emerged elsewhere in the last few days in the province controlled by the President of India, Mr. Modi. That's the Uttar Pradesh province, so the Uttar Pradesh state. And local elections are due there in the next few months. So that probably has something to do with it. But what we've seen is a rise of Hindu nationalism, Hindu sort of religious aggression, which is very surprising and slightly disturbing. There's a story about the vandalizing of a giant statue of Christ in Ambala. There's a story in Assam where a group called Bajran Dal have conducted some attacks. There's also stories in another area where Muslim groups have been harassed during prayer time. Why are you doing this? And stories about the burning of Christian books. At the same time, in this particular district, there's been a new law put out which promotes a sort of anti-conversion policy. Now we know this sort of policy exists in other countries. I remember coming across this policy when I was living in Greece, of all places. We know that there are policies that attack particular groups that are committed to proselytizing or evangelizing. You can think of the fate of the Jehovah's Witnesses in Russia, particularly. Many of them find themselves jailed for promoting their religious beliefs. But at the moment in India, the missionaries of Mother Teresa seem to be under serious threat. Now, they're not under as much of a threat as was cited yesterday by one of the leaders of the Indian opposition, Mamata Banerjee, who tweeted yesterday that the bank accounts of the Missionaries of Charity had been frozen, and therefore that 22,000 patients and employees of the Mother Teresa organisation were without access to money and vital medicines. Now, Mother Teresa's nuns have traditionally looked after the very poor of whatever background, offering basic education, basic health care, and shelter. They do, as I see it, a very good and very valuable job. The idea that people who are brought into their centres are then encouraged to convert, I think this is a misrepresentation, certainly of everything I know about the Mother Teresa organisation, and I think it's rather sad. India is a vast country, 1.37 billion people, and only 2.3% is Christian. There's a very small minority. There's also a small Muslim population in India. But I think I think the majority, 80%, is Hindu, and this is a very peace-loving religion. So I find these stories deeply shocking and deeply disturbing, and I find the parallels with other stories coming from other countries similarly disturbing. There is a rise in hostility across the world. There is a rise in nationalism. There seems to be a rise in not listening to people with other traditions, and we need to make more of an effort to be generous to people who don't share our views. But anyway, there we are. Mother Teresa's organisation is under threat at the moment, and under serious threat. Though I think their bank accounts have not actually been frozen. They just have been. It's just no longer possible for them to receive money from abroad. Similar sort of strictures you will find are beginning to occur in countries like Russia as well. So anyway, there we are. Do follow the channel and do ring the bell. And if you have any further news on this story, I'd be very interested in your views and updates. I think this is a developing story. Bye bye.